We're taught very European ways of thinking around type. So this project sort of aims to dismantle that and highlight underrepresented type found throughout the world. I chose to do South Louisiana because that's where I'm from. So these are a few photos, me in the middle, and then some photos I took while doing my research for the book. I was really drawn to the ornate flashes and ears that are featured on these letters. It kind of reminded me of the Mardi Gras floats that are common throughout Louisiana, with like the opulence and richness that these floats tend to have. I paired it with the term "le bon temps roulé," which means "let the good times roll." I thought that was funny because they have some curvy rolling ears in the font, and then I paired it with some painting of Mardi Gras.
Some of them, like the outer two, are for new product lines, and others, like the one in the center, are collaborative products that we do with chefs, influencers, or other companies that we work with. When I presented these options to our collab partner, she chose this draft. My first draft, the draft that I spent very little time working on, and understandably my least favorite. This is when I went to Dr. Ahmed for help because I was totally lost, trying to figure out how I would work with it. She helped me figure out some good questions to ask, like, what exactly do they like about this draft? What does the circle at the top represent for them? But also, what did I like about this draft, and what was working and what had to go? These are the exact images I submitted to Indigo Awards, and after a few semi-panicked emails to Dr. Ahmed about some metallics not photographing well, although Lauren is some copy that was still on this label, I eventually submitted it, and let it go. About 2 months later, I was told that this label received an honorable mention in the Indigo Awards for this year.
I am a creative director, and I started off, well, actually before I started off in design, I was in the painting program at Howard University. And you all may or may not realize just how important your roles are in the world and beyond. And I don't know if anyone here, especially the seniors, how much you guys have thought about exactly where you're going to go, what type of place you want to work for, what do you want to do, and what type of impact you want to make on the world. Others, it is different for so many people. All of your journeys will be different. But I'm going to tell you what has worked for me. This is a statement that people say about me. I've got a proven track record for developing political campaigns that deliver winning results. We elected a president, and so I think that's a pretty cool and pretty big thing. Some of that track record, and the reason that Professor Ahmed has brought us here today, is to talk about, like, how do you prove it? How do you make sure that people can say, as Nicholas said, they saw my name, and they were like, hey, you were a person who did a thing. It's about getting your name out there, getting your face in rooms, and showing us some faces. So not just coming to class, doing the work, which is already enough. It is already a task, and I'm sure you all have, amazing lives outside of what you do in school, but it's also about putting yourself out there and getting your work out there at whatever stage and being able to get that feedback so you can continue to fine-tune. As you all heard, I got an email inbox with 250 rejections. But I had a couple good jobs up there that have brought me a long way to say that you gotta keep fine-tuning and keep going. So, you'll hear folks tell you to network, you'll hear folks tell you to go say hi, you'll hear folks tell you to send an email or show up to an event. Those are the spaces and places that have helped me phenomenally. I think I said it on the last slide, every opportunity that I gained came from someone that I know, something that I showed them, whether it was my work ethic, whether it was my public speaking skills, whether it was my design, whether it was my ability to be a leader, to make decisions quickly, whatever it was, I showed them something. And so that is really something that I think is transformative, and you get that by surrounding yourself with the people and places and spaces that lead you to where you want to go. Okay, I think we get questions if my fellow panelists want to come back up and chat. Awesome. Okay.
I feel like you kind of answered this question, but in regards to the imposter syndrome, what is something you say to yourself or do for yourself to just help you go for it?
I had to show up at a meeting with my CEO, a partner, and a managing director on Thursday, out of state, and talk about things that like are not my expertise. And what I have learned is when I show up at my workplace, I'm honest about what I am knowledgeable about and what I'm not, but I also seek the knowledge. So like, I'm not a media consumption trends and analytics person, but I read the whole deck before I got there. So when they're talking, I'm both listening to what they're saying, how they're saying it, I'm watching people's facial reactions around the room and what they're, responding to figure out, okay, how do I speak to what's important here, and how do I make sure when I speak that it is valuable to them.
There's lots of people who are really amazing at what they do. And when I first started, like, I'm only in my first semester, but like, the first few weeks were pretty rough. Like, I was like, it was all those thoughts of like, I'm not good enough, how did I get here, like, why did they choose my work? But I have to like stop myself and remember that like, I'm at this place because I deserve to be at this place. If I didn't have the talents and the skills to be here, I wouldn't be here. And I also think it's important that you have that strong support system around you, because I heavily rely on my support system to remind me of, you did these amazing things, like you deserve to be there. Like,
So I just want to say that I know that as Gen Z folks, we're always seeing all these like anti-work things. And while yes, work-life balance is huge and very important, there's opportunities that I feel like a lot of people kind of skip out on because they're like, I have too much going on, I don't want to totally burn myself out, which is fair, but when opportunities come along, it's definitely always consider it, always see, like, try to figure out like the benefits, what you can get out of this, see what you can meet through this, and
Everybody's journey is different. So focus on the thing that, again, makes you happy, makes you feel content, makes you feel like I'm growing or I'm learning something, and then find ways to apply it.
Thank you.